Hello again, Michael here, and this time I want to talk to you about the contact form that is one of the pages in your website. This is something that I have created for you and should automatically appear within your site. And really there isn't necessarily much you have to do with it, but I just want to show you your options and some of the few things that you do actually need to do that may not have been done as part of this automatic setup. First, just to show you here is the sample blog again I'm using for training. And the contact page is the page where your patrons will be able to go to send you an email directly from the website. Still be able to leave you comments on particular posts and pages if you allow them to, but they might want to send you an email, ask you a little more question, a question they don't want to be publicly presented on the website. And it's a very simple form. There are a few required fields here. It asks for their name, their email, and their website if they have one. And then it asks them to fill in the subject of their message, the message itself, and then a small confirmation down here. In this case, what is the sum of 8, 78, and 5? They need to put in that answer there. This is working to prevent spam. It's not perfect. Some spam still might get through, but most computers aren't smart enough to be able to read that and give the appropriate answer. And then we have here the option to allow them to send themselves a copy of the email that they're sending to you. Your user would fill this out, click submit, and they would get a response back saying that their message had been sent, and you will get an email in your inbox within usually just a few moments. So let's take a look at what is involved with this in the back end. So I'm going to switch over to the dashboard for my blog here. And the first thing I'll do is I'll go to my pages. And you'll see here, you'll probably have more pages than this, but right now we just have our About page and our Contact page. And if I go ahead and edit this page, there really is not a lot to it. The title here is Contacts. Some libraries have changed this to Contact Us. And the really important bit right here is just this brackets, easy-contact, close bracket. This is what makes the form show up. The form is actually done using a plugin that we've installed into WordPress. So if you leave this alone, if you don't change anything, the page will look exactly as it did before. Now, you can edit this page and add additional information if you'd like. The key is that you have to leave this bit of code alone. As long as that is in your page somewhere, it will work just fine. So, for example, I can add this information here and say, please send us an email using this form. And notice that, Easy Contact is still here. I haven't changed that. I haven't removed it. I haven't edited it. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update. And that will publish our changes. And just to show you that this works, if I switch back to our contact form, scroll up here, and refresh this page, you'll see here's the information. Please send us an email using this form. And then everything else is exactly the same. And everything else in this contact form was created using that Easy Contact plugin and that code over in the page. So I'm going to real quick go ahead and take this back out. Oops, let's not delete the code. And click Update, and that will put it back the way it was. Okay, so that's the page itself. The other area you want to look at dealing with your contact form, as I scroll down here just a little bit, under Settings, you will find a menu called Contact. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you'll see here is the basic settings for the Contact plugin. Yes, this PayPal logo is there. You don't need to worry about that. The author of this plugin does take donations, so if you like it a lot, you can send them $1 or $2 if you wish, but there's absolutely no requirement to do so. The 4 very important parts are right up here at the top under Email Options. Chances are when you first see this, these options will be blank, and you probably want to fill them in. In fact, 2 of them you definitely want to fill in. The first one is you need to fill in the email address of whomever is going to receive the emails that this form generates. Generally, that will be the library director, but if you've set up somebody else on your staff to receive these emails, you would put their email address in there, and then you would put the name of the person that's receiving the emails into the recipient name. This makes sure that when the email is sent, it actually gets to someone at your library. Optionally, you can see here I've added this in subject prefix, this brackets any libs web. The brackets are just a kind of format I use. You could have it say something like email from the website, something like that. You can also leave this completely blank. The point here is that if I receive a message, this will be added to the front of the subject line before whatever the user typed in. And then I can use this to route my email to a particular folder if I was to do that and say Outlook, or if you're sending it to a Gmail account, you could have it tagged a certain way, something like that. If you don't see the use for this, then there's absolutely no reason to fill this in. Carbon copying, this turns on and off that box that allowed users to send a copy of the email that they're sending to you to themselves. I generally like to offer that option to them. That way, the fact that they receive the email probably means that the email was sent. It's a little confirmation to them. And as a user, I generally check that a little bit so I can get a copy of what I sent to remind me later if I haven't heard a response. It acts as a little reminder. Scrolling down just a little bit further, we have the spam reduction options, and this is set in our example to simple math. This means the plugin will take over and ask that math question, what's 7 plus 5? Usually it's a plus or minus question. It's really not that difficult. Again, it reduces the amount of spam. If you want, you can completely turn this off, although I don't suggest that. You could change it to a challenge question. So, for example, I could ask, what is the capital of France? And then my answer is Paris. And then if I leave this a challenge question, they'll have to answer that question with Paris exactly as I typed it. However, might be a little more complicated. Hey, somebody might not know the capital of Paris and then wouldn't be able to send you an email. That's why I generally leave it at simple math. You can also do both here. You can have it ask math and your challenge question. My recommendation, honestly, is to leave it at simple math. The rest of this page is something I don't necessarily recommend you play around with, but you can if you want. If I just quickly go back to the form itself, for example, here it says your information and then name colon, and then email colon, and then website colon. That's all controlled right here. So here's where it says your information. A little further down it says your message. A little further down it says confirmation. Here is name. Here is email. Here is website. All of this you can change. However, I have pre-populated this for you, and it isn't required, but it's optional. You can customize it if you wish. Going a little further, you can also then edit what are called the response messages and the required text notification here and here. These, as you'll notice, do include some HTML code and some CSS. If you are familiar with this, you are welcome to change it. But if you're not comfortable with code, I really do suggest that you leave these alone. They are set up. They're consistent across all of the websites. I've pre-populated all this information for you already, so you can just go ahead and leave that alone. Please be sure, as you look down here at the bottom left, if you've changed anything on this page, make sure you click that Save Changes to update any changes that you've made. So there's the basic information about the contact form, the contact page, and its settings.